there's a difference in caliber for that one, right? Raise the Puppy, Unkillable Demon King. I'd take the other one, you know? Like, that's my proclivity there.
The Unkillable Demon King has been winning out most of the time when these teams have been facing off. Going to be a really interesting one. And despite all the history, you know, being around Faker, of course, it has been more for T1 about the cast surrounding him, about these young guns. Owner, Zeus, Guiyushi, Keria, all incredible in their own right. I think a lot of people, you know, as the guys on the desk we're talking about, are looking at Zeus and Owner as potentially the big difference here in this matchup. Bin and Wei are more hit or miss. You know, they have their absolutely incredible games, but they like to play very, very aggressive, and when that goes bad, they can have some rough ones as well. Zeus and Owner have been more consistent. You know, the question really is, you know, are they facing the same level of competition? That's where a lot of people will start to argue. Is the LPL a deeper roster of teams? Is T1 having an easier schedule? These types of arguments is where you start to really get into, and you don't get to really find out until the teams actually face off. And we're finally getting to see that after so much debate about these two teams, from fans, from pundits, from critics. It's going to be so exciting.
And then we get to see it again in a couple of days. Then, hey, if G2 has their way, we'll see it again in the semifinals for a best of 5. And G2 just gets kind of ride their way to the finals, and we'll see what happens there. Or, right, someone steps up, right? Chow's like, enough of this. We're going for title number 3. Claps T1, revenge on G2, takes the tiebreak, takes first seed, you know, makes that run, who knows. But certainly, it's right now, either of these teams, they both have control of Destiny. They both have control of Destiny to take first seed, to take the tournament by storm. Ari going to be first picked, locked in for Xiao.
Yeah, Ari left up there. Really interested to see if it is going to be the Vex answer here for Faker. That has been kind of the most common answer when it is not a trade of OPs. And this is a little bit of an interesting draft, because generally when we're seeing Ari go through, you know, teams will say, okay, it's fine to let Ari through, but you trade it for LeBlanc or Wukong. Those are the 3, or even Lucian, but Lucian just never gets through, to be honest. But kind of the 3 that are most people focusing on. Ezreal has been really, really high prio. I know a lot of people have not been a fan of it, but I think teams are just still loving what it allows you to do, that it allows you to focus on the other lanes, that allows you to move around, you know, really play potentially more towards mid lane, play with your jungler, try to enable them. There is the other side of that too, where it still could be, you know, Ezreal Karma. We haven't been seeing that really at all. It has always been Karma getting banned in the second round and not picked in the first round, and then people going towards Engage. You know, most teams are just more comfortable playing with a tank support, utilizing that to play around Vision to be the one starting the fights. Kai'Sa, Nautilus. This is like the RNG special, man. You flash back a couple of years, they were playing this every single game. They have been, you know, one of the teams that really kind of, I think, defined that playstyle, that really dive heavy, aggressive stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if they are going to pair, you know, their kind of early dive with potentially a very aggressive top side of the map, Bin and Wei, that would fit their playstyle. Since out, a little bit of a left turn here has not been nearly as popular at MSI.
His first of the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. Has barely been getting played, to be honest, at all.
Yeah, I want to say we're at around like 5 games. Like, I remember seeing him, but like I
3
guess he's like
so far at MSI.
Okay, so this is number 4. Yeah.
It's been mostly just Viego, you know, Graves. Viego had been more kind of in the group stage, but like Graves, Lee Sin, Wukong, those types of picks, and then it just kind of falls off a cliff, right? And Xin coming in here, you know, will be interesting. Very strong early skirmishing, you know, can play heavily towards the top side, you know, ban out a couple of these jungle picks here from Wei, potentially get an advantageous 2v2. Faker, of course, going to be playing the Zoe. Pairs well with the Ezreal. I think, you know, really sets you up very well for a strong poke comp, regardless of what you want to play on the top side. There is potential to, you know, pair that with something like a Jace if you really want to go all in on poke, but I don't think you need to whatsoever.
Well, bans still coming through. Getting rid of the counter engage, the disengage, the safety. Braum off the table. We are still seeing that Viego off that one. And yeah, I mean, Wei, you know, if you can let him play Volibear or maybe Nautilus where he misses half his ultimates, you know, that's a decent way to look for it. But yeah, Viego has been what he's looked the best on. Lee Sin is still up. I think that's always felt like a trademark pick for him to me.
Yeah.
Second ban to come through, and yeah, there it is.
Yeah, makes sense. You know, a lot of jungle bans in this one. Nocturne, Wukong, Viego, Lee Sin. You know, they first round their jungler. Graves is banned out on the other side. So you are pushing Wei, you know, quite a ways down in the priority list.
Wei has 6 champions played at MSI. Every single one's been denied for him now.
Yep. And it'll be really interesting. Maybe they're going to get the Volibear, which the LPL casters just absolutely hate.
Yeah.
And are always flaming his Volibear. Jack's getting banned out here. Feels like you want to go towards Gwen potentially, for Bin. That is kind of one of the answers that people will bring out. Vi, as you say, did get brought out earlier.
Yeah.
We have seen a number of different junglers, of course, splashed in. Owner played Vi, Owner played Kindred, but not necessarily expecting that. Leona.
Not a surprise.
Makes sense. I mean, it's Leona and Nautilus when they're up. Like, they're the two engaged supports that basically everyone goes to. They don't really move past that unless something has been taken away. Of course, you want last pick here for Zeus. Volibear is kind of a bit of a meme just because all the LPL casters are just constantly complaining about, Waves Volibear, how it should be on the ban list. He's not allowed to play it. But I think we are probably going to get it given there's so many jungle bans. And it is a strong early skirmishing jungler here. You do have the ability to take a lot of these fights, take a lot of these 2v2s. I think it's just going to be Gwen and Volibear. Potentially. Oh, okay. So it's actually Camille. So this makes sense as well with the Jax ban. Jax obviously a really strong answer into the Camille. Bin I think has been excellent on the Camille. Is one of his champions that he's really strong on. He is that aggressive player. You can kind of facilitate the team, start up these engages. You have a really good gank setup, both with the hookshot and post level 6 for the Volibear. Lock them down in the Hextech ultimatum. Really easy to hit the volley E. And it is in fact going to be Gwen on the other side. So Gwen will not fall through. It has been enormously popular throughout MSI. This is by far the most picked top laner. 21 picks for Gwen coming into today. This may be not updated for all the games. Next most played, 7 games of Ornn, 7 games of GP. So pretty much any time this champion is available, it is getting picked.
4x.
And people are basically not thinking it's strong enough to ban. But I mean, Gwen is just an all-around incredibly strong champion. You can play side lanes, you can win early if you play it well, you can team fight, you can split push, you can kind of do it all. Camille, I think, similar in that way, that you can play both sides or group and actually look for the engage. So top lane could be pretty volatile because if you can put one of these guys behind here, there's a lot of power in the 2v2, top and jungle, put one behind, they can have first move, they can look to play for objectives, as that's really kind of RNG's game. They want to play for objectives. They like to play more slowly than T1.
Sure. But I will say if they want to play for top side, both Camille and Volibear, none of their kit gets immune by Gwen W. All of its melee range, everything that matters is going to be run on top of you, so almost impossible to disjoint that from her W. So the Volibear and Camille could go and try to pick up kills over there. They clearly were comfortable letting the Gwen up. Again, those champions are going to feel pretty good about that one, so we'll see what that looks like here as we get ready for our 5th game of the day. Royal Never Give Up versus T1. 15-5 historically in Faker's team's favor, individually against Xiaohu. 12-5, still massive there as we get ourselves into the game. 2-1 for both of these teams. To win means to retain control of your destiny, that you could match G2, tie-break them, and take first seed at the end. To lose means you need help or you're getting a harder semifinal.
It's a lot on the line here, for these teams, especially I feel like T1, a lot of people were looking at them as the favorite, undefeated season in the LCK, an enormous amount of pressure on the organization to have success, on the players to really have that success. And if they were to fall here to RNG, to lose both to RNG and to G2 in that first round robin, I think would be a shock to LCK fans and T1s.
I mean, totally agree. I think so many people coming in, T1 was the favorite. This is the one you're like,
just
okay.
basically had to be by default.
Yeah, and if you're an LCK homer, you're still saying it's T1 every game. And I don't think that's even unreasonable. They were doing so well against G2, but they just hadn't lost a match all year. And it's like, well, this is the best team in the world. Ready to go. It's Faker going for his 6th international trophy. Of course it's going to be. But G2 rocked them. Hey, well done to them. And now the battle against RNG is going to be a tight one.
And it's really interesting because, these teams, they touched on the desk, of course, but they kind of flip the script of what you expect out of the region, right? T1 is much more lane dominant, much more early game focus, run over you, just better hands, better laning, better mechanics. Have been incredibly impressive with that. And in the past, it was always T1 playing this slow, methodical, macro style game, which we kind of associate with the LCK, but it's really RNG that have been doing that. You look towards them in the regional play, heavily prioritizing objectives. They want to play slow. They want to have that slow burn, up towards a potential soul. Early ignite even here from Faker, just trying to play for the advantage, but Xiaohu gets much better of that because he actually has an extra potion charge, didn't use a summoner, and they're even on health here. So Faker's going to need to get the shove in now, chug those potions, get in the push, and probably try to go for an early reset because that is not the best position for him.
Instant biscuit for Xiaohu for pretty obvious reasons. Missing health heal, and he's low, so gets that one. Level 2 is in. obviously, a lot of the reasons you will go for those early trades is to try to get the extra damage across and, knock him down while he's regenning. Cut his healing by half while it's going on, but get the wave pushed in. 10-7 in CS so far.
The Raptor ward, pretty much 100% of the time, Faker uses his first ward on the Raptors pit. That is one of his patterns that he's always going to go for. Not uncommon with mid laners, but of course some do vary where they place that a little bit more. Did get eyes on way, so we know he's going to be clearing bot towards top. Knows exactly how many camps he had done. Very likely expecting that full camp clear, but he could skip camps, and Zeus is going to try to get this wave trimmed a little bit here. We'll see if he wants to try to go for a bounce. I mean, it's pushing towards him, so he doesn't have to play aggressive and try to reset that, because it can be dangerous if you try to go for the full shove, and Bing contributed enough to keep it near his tower with Volibear on top side. That's always a little bit of a dicey situation, so I think it makes more sense to just kind of trim the wave and allow it to push to you, so you can't get dove.
There's a smite on the ground, but we really can't get to it right now, Faker, so would love to blue smite, get a little bit of damage, have the W pop up, but maybe not going to be much there. Way going to finish his camps towards top side, 6 camps into the scuttle, and now with that ward dropped off, Zeus needs to make sure that he can be safe. The wave will not be stuck in front of the turret, and with Bin showing himself, just clearing it away. Okay, I'm not getting ganked. Volibear can't 1v1 me. So not with Owner nearby. Yep,
Owner's just going to come into the lane here. We'll see if they want to try to go for any sort of a lane gank. I mean, Zeus is spotted. Owner is not. He's not going for the early reset, so it feels like they are trying to go for a little bit of a play. Bin goes in.
For the stun, wants to bait him in farther, but he's not going to go for any more damage. Just the auto attack. I think hit Q1. Didn't want to wait for Q2. Doesn't know if Xin Zhao is around.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised the Owner just didn't instantly go. I think if you just W there right away, you get the flash for sure.
You flash E, right? Or you can maybe W and chase as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, you flash for flash at worst if you go for the guaranteed.
Now he's
waits long enough, gets the flash out, but that just short of the W, so nothing else to do.
Yep, that's kind of what I thought was going to happen last time, to be honest, though. I think Owner was maybe not quite ready for it, or thought he was going to commit more heavily and maybe not even have to commit the W, but I mean, if you tag him with the W, guaranteed he's going to flash, and there, Bin, of course, reactively does have a flash away, but it means Owner spent more time up towards that top side, so even though they had push on bot, it is a double scuttle here for Volibear.
And a stolen camp if he wants it. Like, he knows the Xin Zhao recall timing.
That's risky, though.
Smite's down, yeah.
That's really risky. But they're actually... Oh, my God.
Oh, he's flashing with the gank. I love it! What an absolutely amazing play, but will it matter? Anchor's going to find Leona. Carry should. He's going to flash in a straight line away towards his team. That is way personified. That is an LPL jungler if I've ever seen one. What's your ganking path? Well, you wrap around behind the tower, then you flash the wall, and you run at him. T1, though, handled that very well. It does cost carry his flash and the heal off Gumayushi. Of course, Ming used double sums, and there's the flash off of Wei. So I think T1 going to be pretty happy about the exchange there. A positive 2 summoners there. Yeah. Feels pretty good.
W.
Nice recall stop. So 34-38 in CS with an equal amount to farm, basically. Zeus obviously does want to get his recall at some point. Shouldn't be too close to dying. No backflip Q, so going to be just fine down there, and still has a couple of spells left.
You got to be careful as Bin, though. When you're getting this low and you're playing against an Ignite top laner, like, that's a Q and an Ignite. He's paying respect to the fact that, potentially there is someone up there. I don't think they've had eyes on Nautilus for a bit. When Nautilus shows, I think Zeus is going to probably cancel his recall, but may just want to play it safe, TP back. Yeah, he cancels the recall. They see Nautilus. Pretty smart stuff from him, just paying respect to the fact that there could be a roam, but as soon as there's not, you're really not that much in danger. Because the Camille is very low on health and you have Ignite, it is going to have to be Bin playing it pretty safe, and especially if Zeus gets the 6, this could be bad. He gets 6 now!
Oh, on the top side, Ignite is on. Ult's going to land as well. Last shot's going to land, and Bin takes a fight. He cannot win!
I mean, Bin is kind of trolling on that one. I'm going to be honest with you. Staying around that long, maybe was not counting minions, not realizing how quick Zeus was going to get 6, but taking a low HP fight against an Ignite top laner when you are down a summoner is so incredibly dangerous there, and he gets punished very, very hard. Sure, if you win it, it's going to be great, but the chances of you winning that fight are incredibly low, and as soon as Zeus hit 6, there was no way he was going to survive, and now you're down a flash already from the previous gank, and Zeus is going to be way ahead on this one. Gets Leeching Leer, Cloth Armor, and Boots on the first base. That is really, really nice, because as soon as Gwen hits Riftmaker, as soon as you complete your Mythic, like, you're a brand new champion. You're just massively ahead.
Alrighty, well, top scuttle going to go over to Owner, and T1 feeling good on a full 1,000 gold lead, though they are down a Drake. Still feels pretty good overall. Top laner still scuffling back and forth. Owner waiting around. Find the stun. W not going to be in range, though.
I mean, if he pushes up, if he dies here, it's going to be so tough. Like, that is pretty much lights out for the 1v1. And I think
gets the slow, gets the jump. Not an easy way out. Knockup's going to land. And have the damage. Ulti, snip, down he goes. goes. 2-0 top side for T1.
Evan not playing with respect to the jungler there. Owner, a great gank, hits the W over the wall there. Both kills to go to Zeus. Zeus will get at least one play, could stay for 2 if he wants and still get the reset because Bin has no TP. When you die with a pushing wave, no teleport as a top laner, it is so tough to come back from. So now pressure is on the other side of the map. Gonna have to do some heavy lifting in this one because it's hard to imagine a world in which Bin is gonna be competitive with Zeus in the side lane. All of a sudden you're looking towards, all right, I gotta get out of lane, gotta have some sort of a gank, but then you're scared about 2v2, gotta have some sort of a roam play, try to get something done elsewhere, or hope that Gala and Xiaohu can carry.
As the waves get pushed in, right, 2-wave lead, 2-plate lead, looks really good. Keep in mind, feature matchup set up by Mercedes-Benz is Xiaohu versus Faker, 12-5 all-time in Faker's favor.
And you can see Gala cheating towards mid. They were trying to look for a potential play there onto Faker. They're starting up Herald, so he moves towards mid, will cover the wave. RNG will send the extra man up here. Of course, Gumayusi's on the recall and has no ult, so it's truly not him able to join whatsoever. I'm kind of surprised T1 are fighting this at all.
On the owner, their ulti down, and Flash gets them nowhere, 1 for nothing, and Zeus have a hard time out as well. Again, the melee champions do not care that Gwen's immune to ranged ones. Bin will just survive a shutdown to Xiaohu. 2-0 to RNG with a Herald to claim as well.
I cannot believe that T1 took that fight. Straight up, Gumayusi's in base. You know it's a 4v5. And they still just kind of walk straight in. Owner doesn't even have his ulti, and they're still looking to contest here. He steals it with his Q.
That's pretty great, but it's going to trade a kill back. Carrier wants it. He got the eye. He got the eye. So, yeah, I mean, it is a 600 gold steal, basically, right? 100. Okay, well, actually, 800 gold steal. They don't get 100 for the kill. You get 100 for the kill. They don't get 300 gold for the plates. You get 300 gold for the plates.
Yep.
So death for Herald Steal is actually worth, especially if you turn it into a full turret later on. That's map control. So, I mean, well done to T1. And goodbye, Carrier, to dive in and get it.
Yeah, Carrier able to kind of give up his life and get it. We'll have to see, this initial play, I'm just really surprised. I mean, Faker is charmed. Owner just goes in straight up. Gala is around. Look at where Ezreal is. I mean, Ezreal is in base.
Yeah.
Ezreal is way over here on the mini map. Not even close. Not even having the ultimate available. There's no shot that they were going to win this fight. It was a really ill-advised one to take from T1. They kind of let RNG back in the game with it, to be honest. But I think it's just a Q snipe. Didn't have smite. Yeah, Wade just straight up didn't have smite available. And no one is blocking the Ezreal Q. Someone should have been standing between Gumayusi and him. There's no way T1 can take the fight. As a result, they lose the Herald. Now they lose first turret. That's going to be more gold in the pocket of Zeus, who's already way ahead with the early 2 kills. Gonna look to try to push this in and get a second charge as well. Owner and Carrier here to escort it in.
Yeah, jumps in, gets the shield as well. Zeus gonna take a lot of damage here, but he's baiting it for Owner. Ult back to safety. A flash for Bin to stay alive.
Xiaohu.
Here comes the dive. Way's gonna drop. It's gonna be enough for the Ahri though. Gets the pullback on the Q. Zeus slow, doesn't find the charm. Able to walk away a slow. A chase down. A flash means nothing as Xiaohu just delivers himself on a silver platter. Owner now stuck in the wrong spot as well. Bin finds one. Here comes Ming. Double knockup. Double kill for Nautilus. Wants to save the kill for someone else, but still claims one. Now be careful as Bin's gonna be ignited, but he's burning. Will he drop? Yes, indeed. Faker kills him under his own tower.
It's a bloodbath. 11 kills in 11 minutes here.
Woo!
RNG and T1 scrapping it out in a messy one here. They are going full in on their aggression. Meanwhile, bot lane, 2 Marksman is saying, all right, guys, I'm farming. It's going great.
Yep, pushing the minions.
All right, Riftmaker, your fun is over for Bin if he was even having any already. Did at least get a kill back on that dive. We can watch this one more time. T1 obviously had the extra members up towards top side, but you see the move here coming in from RNG on the minimap, moving up across the map there, trying to come in for the assistant. Xiaohu goes deep to try to get the kill, but because he doesn't get the kill on Zeus, he doesn't get the ulti reset and he can't get out. The late flash, he goes down anyway. Owner taking the tower aggro there. Bin with the Q2 is able to actually pick this up. And then T1, Owner and Carrier realize they are dead, so they're just running away from Bin, trying to give the kills to Ming. Double kill goes to Nautilus, but they keep it out of the hands of the Camille, who Faker is able to pick up. So all things considered, still very good for T1. Really, really scrappy game. But T1 grab a dragon, so they're really kind of ahead in all metrics at this point. Up in gold, even out on those dragons, so RNG doesn't really have that potential soul win condition. We'll see if they can get anything done in the side lane, but that is going to be really tough because Zeus is so threatening now, especially once his Ignite is back up, there's a lot of kill threat on the bin.
Yeah, indeed. And I'm looking forward to that one because it's been a spicy top lane, right? And as much as people are like, well, we can leave Gwen up, maybe we can't. There's counter, but there's not. I mean, R's been in that kind of boat as well, right? These S-tier solo laners that teams are willing to leave up and, you know, often enough and look for counters. Zoe R is our third time seeing it. I think Zoe's won everyone that I've cast, everyone that I've seen. So looking pretty good so far. Again, T1R winning right now.
Faker's played it twice already. This is his third, and Faker wins a lot of games.
He does win a lot of games. Yeah. Not against G2, but, you know, doing pretty well against RNG at least. Nice stun from Wei. Looking for a little bit more from Carry. A true shot Barrage going to land only one, but will it be a kill? Wei low, flash 4, gets a kill. Gamushi on the board now as we look for Xiaohu getting his root in place and running away. T1 a 1-for-0.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big one because they can push in mid here, potentially farm some plates up as well. Up towards the top side, you can see the top laners are scrapping it up, but T1 just want to play for this, get those plates into Gumiushi's pocket. Is he the only one in range, or is it split? Nope, solo gold there for Gumiushi, so well played. Owner and Carry it, knowing the range there, back up out of it. So all that gold going to go into his pocket. Faker down on the bot side, a couple of easy plates for T1 to grab. Another kill's worth of gold going their way right before this does fall down, and RNG now using the Hex Gates here. He's going to be spotted, though, on these wards. We'll see if T1 do make the collapse. I mean, Faker has the stolen flash, but it's a lot of people coming here for the wraparound, and they're going to commit to it.
Turns off the tower, so it goes in for Gala, cleanses away everything, and it's going to be nothing at all. Gala nearly solo kills, cleanses the Ignite as well as the Sleep. ISO Q looks good. Obviously had to try for it because of Volibear.
Yep, nice aggressive move there. And there's no chance for Faker to retreat, as you say. Multiple people wrapping around behind him. T1 making the cross-map play, though. Carry it up towards top lane, playing with Zeus. Xiaohu now looking.
Root into Charm, guarantees it, nicely done, but he's out of cooldowns. Ult into W, second auto. Makes it happen, barely enough damage, knows the limit, and gets the kill.
Really well played there by Xiaohu. Most wealthy player in the game now, actually ahead of Zeus. Has picked up a lot of kills in this and been involved in pretty much everything. 7 of 8 KP. For the RNG mid laner, needed to land the entire combo to actually be able to take down Gumiushi, was able to do it. It doesn't even cost him a summoner, so really going to be feeling good about that one. You know, giving RNG some hope back, a couple of picks for them. Does help to even the gold out.
Yeah, remains 1,500, which, you know, not massive, right? I think if it's less than 10% of the gold on any given team, that feels like very much within reach. When it's about 10%, I'm like, ooh, you're really getting kind of clapped here. So certainly T1 are winning. They're looking good, but if you're RNG, you should feel okay. I mean, scoreboard's 8-6 in your favor. You'll get turrets eventually. And
I will say that RNG, you know, despite the fact that they're going up against a Pocomp, they have heavy engage. They have ways to start fights, right? And if you do misposition as T1, and that is, of course, a big if, you can lock down and knock down the Ezreal as well as the Zoe. You have the engage from Camille, the follow-up, of course, you know, from Ming, from Wei. Gala can fly in off the top of that. Xiaohu can fly in off the top of that, so they've got a lot of dive to be ready for this, but RNG ready for the scrap here around Herald once more. T1
in the Carry, a big damage. True Shot's gonna, of course, just easily go through the W, takes the backflip, takes the kill. Nice in owner spots one, but a really good engage. Bin just gets a pick.
This is kind of a bad habit that we saw a lot from Summer last year, you know, for T1. When you think back to going into Worlds, this is something they did, not at Worlds, but in the LCK Summer season last year, where they would basically just fight Herald no matter what. If they have the setup, if they have the comp, if they have, you know, the vision, they're gonna fight it no matter what. And they're kind of doing this weird half contest, right? There's no need for Carry to even be in the area. Zeus is pushing bot lane, is going to take the tower for free, is going to deny these minions. That is your trade. But T1 kind of show up with the half contest. Same thing they did at the first Herald as well. Ezreal's not there, but they just wander over and give over a kill. You know, RNG was going to get that anyway. Kind of worked out a little bit better for them in the first one because they got the Ezreal Q steal, but that's not something you should depend on.
Yeah.
And it is a clear hole in T1's gameplay.
So you stack up, play for top side, get yourself on a Herald and say, hey, all right, give me those 2 kills, 3 kills, come on, can we get something? And it means the game remains relatively close. Still under 2,000 the difference. With a Herald charge, you should be adding 500 to your scoreboard for knocking down a turret at that point. Mid should be pretty much low enough to die just to the charge. Pretty close to that mark right now, so expecting that one. But third Dragon of the game is coming up. Split 1-1 right now. Who's going to get halfway to Soul is the question. Take a look for some poke. Doesn't quite find it. That sleep won't mean much here. Safety for me.
Yep, Gumiushi not in range, and Faker didn't have the RCD, so not going to be able to poke that whatsoever. They get the bot lane push, but RNG going for the mid push here, dropping Herald, trying to force T1 to defend this. They will be able to clear it out pretty quick, and the Herald shouldn't actually knock down the tower. But RNG get first move now into the river. They now have river control. We'll see if T1 is able to wrest it back from them. Faker going to be looking for poke here over the wall.
But it's T1. I mean, I think Scuttle is a part of that one where they know they at least have part of the river. Triple hit there. Nicely done for Kamiyushi. And we get through the mid lane wave again. Now, again, if you don't actually play the wave very well, this is easily RNG. It's under 1,000 health in the turret. And they're going to push in pretty much all 5. And this is just a commitment. They will knock it down. And will it be enough now? A sleeping top laner. Is it going to matter, though? A ton of damage. And Bin just dies for free. Owner walks in, ulti's on. Blocks a lot of the damage. Being forced to run away. Anchors to the back. And we still got Zeus going for a little bit more, but not going to find the kill. 1-0, trades back the tower, equal gold basically, and T1 by all rights owns the dragon.
Yeah, it's going to be in the dragon. It's going to be in the mid lane tier 1 as well, so T1 will come out ahead on this. Bin going in pretty far there, trying to look for a play. Is Faker flashing forward there, will be back towards the dragon. They will be able to contest, not contest this one, unless Wei is going to look for a one-way trip. I mean, he does have vision on it. He could theoretically flash in for it, but it would be very ill-advised, and now going to be spotted. Zeus is behind him, but Wei's looking for the play.
How much CC you got? No ulti, so can't do a ton. Couple of autos, couple of dashes. You got the rest coming around, and they're going to leave him away. Carrier might just die low on health, but will not drop. So down goes the Camille, who went for the play. Bin, I mean, basically dove a 1v4 and just TP's in for a second, well, 5th death.
Yeah, I mean, Bin dies, TP's back, and just immediately dies again. Having a really rough game, just kind of overestimating himself, I feel like, in a lot of these situations. I'm not sure if he thought that RNG were going to look for the collapse with him, but RNG were looking for the kill on Zeus, right? They weren't even moving to actually make that TP mean anything.
Yep.
So he is just way too far ahead of the play from the rest of the team. They cannot join. It's another free kill there for T1, but at the very least, RNG's kill on Zeus means they have pressure here. They will take down that bot tier 1. And the game is incredibly close. I mean, this has been a pretty sloppy one from both sides, but it is an incredibly close game.
And to your point a bit earlier, Raziel, like, these are players of habits, right? T1, for, I would say, most of this roster's history, has done a lot of, well, we'll just always contest Herald. Is it a mistake? Yeah, a lot of times it's a mistake. But, like, they're playing to the proclivities of T1. A lot of those contests on Herald, even though some of them are overstepping. Bin goes forward at all points in time. The man does not have a reverse button on his car. He is going in there. And sometimes
it's no brakes.
Exactly, and sometimes it's a 6-0 lane stop. Sometimes it's 2 and 5 TPing into a death. Like, this is what these players play like.
Yeah, I mean, you see the ping onto the ward. He's actually pinging it from the blue side, so they're going to TP in here. But you look on the other side, look at where RNG is heading. All 4 are heading for Zeus. No one is coming. No one is looking to back you up on this. So clearly, Bin is on his own on this play. He did ping it. But whether there was, a kind of misunderstanding or just wasn't heard in the comms or what, can't really say. But, Bin on a one-way trip there does go down again. Is already quite a bit of gold down on Zeus. Has picked up a couple kills. The farm is relatively even, but you can see Zeus already tier 2 boots completed, has the Nashers, so building for that 1v1. A good 1,500 or so gold ahead. So looking good in that regard.
Which is on his team as well. Obviously, 2 kills. And
look at Gala. And Gala is the wing condition really for RNG. When you look at both their back-to-back series against top, it felt like RNG would lose out early, and then they would just come alive in the team fights. Gala was an absolute monster. The engages were always there from Ming. Sahu is just so incredibly consistent. I feel like he rarely has had a bad game for them this year. So T1 do have the lead, but RNG have won games from a lot worse positions than this against some very tough competition purely through the mechanical skill of Gala.
And T1 have lost for better positions.
They're just starting to bear it.
All right, well, here we go. Going for it here. Faker going to take a little bit of damage there. Definitely spotted. It's known, but will it matter? Wei is coming over. Has Smite, has Ult, has Flash. 5k health on Baron. Will they really flip this one? Wei needs to get into range. He can do so if needed. Carrier going to mark. Going to find the first stuns. They can get it, and it's claimed. Well done. The Flash came in time, but not the Smite. So Baron claimed, but a 1-for-0. It's a 5v4. RNG can fight. Zeus Buds a lot of time, and Ming just going to turn into gold like this top flash did before him. 300 extra on the board. And now here comes Gala. Wants that kill. Zeus going to drop. Then now Shahu waiting in the wings. Finds the pull back on the Q. Keeps sealing. Keeps resetting. And now Kamiyushi left alone. Dodges the charm. But it is a 4 versus 1. Baron, the last of your bloodline, ends with Gumayushi. He's going to flash away.
No way out.
What are you getting out of that flash? What did you gain by burning a 5-minute cooldown? 5 deaths for T1. RNG win the fight.
Yeah, T1 get the Baron. But off of a complete flip there at the Baron, I mean, that was close to a steal. If RNG steal that and get the ace, like, that is game over. T1 taking an incredibly risky play here. They are able to lock Way out of the pit long enough. You see on the right side of the screen, Carriot goes over, Q into ulti, keeps him out of the pit just long enough to be able to secure this. And then Gala, he's hunting for a way in. Ming's able to buy a lot of time here with the stopwatch. Eyes on Gala, top of the screen here. He's gonna hit his W, and then as soon as the W goes right in, takes down Zeus, staying inside the Xin Zhao ultimate on the owner, perfectly auto-spacing there, kiting back, knocking down multiple members. That is the danger of this player. And then Gumayushi, flash for really not much of anything here. Lives a couple seconds longer, but is down the flash. And not having the tournament that he has wanted thus far has been incredible for T1 locally. But he had his interview, after the G2 loss, talking about how he was disappointed in his performance against G2.
Yep.
And now here, not performing up to the expectations thus far. RNG way up in kills, but the game still very, very close to even here. T1 do have a Dragon advantage, and this could be their sole point if they can grab it.
Looking for it now. Will it happen? Their third Dragon, as you mentioned. And RNG going to be in the river. Gold still very close. T1, in fact, are ahead because, Baron's worth 3 kills worth of kills and assists. So it is a lot of money there on the pockets, though the buff is gone. Not quite the reset. Way going to be sleeping big. Damien has to ult to get away. Immune's to sleep. Now going to try for the smite. And it will be claimed again. It's going to be Yushi. Better than either jungler here, but Ming may just drop. 1 for 0 so far. So Portal Combat makes 1 for Carrion. Will drop to Gala. Has to win around. Ulti. Waiting for that one. When it's going to happen again. Owner dives in. Gets the knockup. Xiaohu will not die. Gala gets the second. Bin comes in for the backline. He will drop. You have to believe it's going to happen. Faker flashes in for a sleep. Not going to find it yet. Now RNG. Can they get out? 3 alive on RNG. 3 alive on T1. Gala, still a big threat. Getting out, has to flash the sleep, and goodbye, Volibear. You are a pelt! And he goes down. Gumayushi on the scoreboard with his second kill.
Faker and Gumayushi there. RNG looked like they were winning out, but they couldn't get to the primary carries of T1. The Ezreal and the Zoe non-stop poke coming through. They're able to land those kills, and Gumayushi securing the Dragon. Again, he got the Herald earlier. He gets the Dragon this time. That puts T1 at Soul Point. A really big win for them. Off the back of that Baron fight, they had to be sweating a bit, but now the recalls do get stopped, and it is a TP here from Bin. We'll see if T1 can get in here to bail him out. Gumayushi staying around.
Bin will take some damage. Once again, TP's in to deliver himself or deliver his team the kill. There it is. Xiaohu onto a rampage. Bin plays it to the edge, gets it to happen. Now Faker spotted. Faker
he's gone.
Should not have a way out. Please do not burn your summoner spells. Indeed has better discretion than Guma.
And they're able to give it again to Gala, 8-0 and 5. It has been such a scrappy game, but I mean, Xiaohu and Gala just aren't really dying. They're not making a lot of mistakes. It's been, Bin kind of throwing himself in there very recklessly at times, but they're getting their carries fed. The IE is done, and he just got a big shutdown off of that. So we'll have to see, how much gold he has on top. Likely going to be picking up a Last Whisper next on recall. We can see this one more time. So much about Faker and Guma for T1, able to stay safe here. They're poking out Way. The chunk there does push him out of range, and then Gumayushi able to secure it. Gala on the side here, kiting back. Garriott buying time, and then Owner going forward, trying to buy more space. Carriot flashes in to get the stun, but Gala has cleanse, holding onto his ulti this whole time. As soon as the charm lands, in he goes, picks up the kill. Xiaohu does survive off the back of this, but Gumayushi and Faker are full health, and Faker is just picking up summoners left and right here. The long chase, really well-placed sleep from Faker is actually going to force the flash from Gala, as that does connect with the wall, and Way not able to get past. He falls as a result. T1 getting more gold on the carries, but again, the fights just keep on coming. This time, Bin rewarded for his TP. It was a close thing, but he gets in on the wraparound and narrowly able to survive and help his team take down Zeus, as Faker just really nowhere to go here. Does have his flash, almost up, but he knows it's going to be a long run home. They don't even have the tier 1 tower, so decides, all right, I'm dead. I'm going to save the summoner here. See if I can trade something back.
And it makes the fight long form, 4-3 RNG. Yes, you got the Dragon. They're on Dragon Soul Point.
Last Whisper done.
I favor them on the scoreboard, right? Their gold lead is up. They are right about to find themselves a Hextech Soul. It's great on Ezreal.
And Zoe as well, right? Like, they have the perfect composition to make use of this. So pressure going to be on RNG to try to secure this next dragon. Baron will be up as well. T1, theoretically, can actually give up the dragon if RNG overcommit and trade that for a Baron if they so choose. A lot of big items here coming through, though. Last Whisper is completed. You can see the Dark Seal has been upgraded 10 stacks there on the Mage Eyes for Xiaohu. Has the Horizon focus as well, so he's going to have more burst with this style of build. Third item through for Zeus, third item through for both the AD carries. It's really ramping up, but it's going to be so much pressure, I think, on Gala. He's got to do a lot of the heavy lifting in these fights because Bin is just so far behind. So most of the consistent damage really is all on Gala.
Look pretty good, though, on a 3.5 item. Kaisa, she's already a scaling pick and has thoroughly scaled, so definitely excited about this one. A team effort, though, for sure.
Yeah.
16 out of 19 KP for Xiaohu. He's just been incredible.
I mean, he is just so damn good. And RNG now starting up the Baron here in the face of T1. You have to imagine they're going to pull off this one. T1 are here very, very early, but they are still hitting it. I mean, Wei's going to take a lot of damage. It looks like they're down to flip.
They're going to go in and just delete one. Bin going to flash, going to Zonia's, and it's going to be a claim on the Baron. Owner couldn't get to the pit in time. A stun. Cleansed by Xiao, who's going to stay alive now. 1-0. They've claimed the kill, but does RNG get away?
You give up Soul. That's the problem here. Like, is this even worth it, right? You lose Bin. The Dragon's up in 10 here, and you're going to lose Soul. So I'm not sure if RNG's read was, we can't fight for Dragon anyway. We can't seem to get in against these poke champions. So they're going to cross map here. They will lose tier 2 mid. They will lose Dragon almost guaranteed, as Bin is still down here for 25, and Gala and Ming just pushing towards top. So they're going to try to get as much gold as they possibly can. But, the Baron buff has an expiration date, and Dragon Soul does not.
The argument I will make, because
Wei's gonna try to steal this.
He's in there. There's no smite around, right? He can kind of solo this one, but his health bar is going to be low. He's going to get it. It went to 5 health, but he ticked it down. Wei finally secures an objective.
I mean, Owner was up towards topside. Gumayushi can't get all of them. And Wei just wanders into the Dragon pit here, and now all of a sudden, the Baron flip is completely worth it for RNG. This game is something. Oh my God, we have 33 kills in 29 minutes. 2 Baron flips. 7 deaths on Bin. Gumayushi securing 2 objectives on Ezreal. What else we got, Freak? This one's just wild. I mean, they're like, all right, kill Wei, or this is gone. In he goes, down to 905.
Yep.
Oh.
Smite plus jungle tick, I think. I think he had an auto in time.
Oh my God. That one hurts for T1. If they lose that game, that's the stuff of nightmares.
Oh no.
You're waking up in cold sweat, seeing the volley bear steal away that dragon, because RNG now have that Baron buff. It's only a minute remaining on it. Doesn't seem like they're going to be able to get much pressure on the map. The question is still just like, can RNG find a solve for Faker and Gumayushi? Because in the 5v5s, that has been the struggle to actually get back. When T1 is winning the fights, it's because they can't actually close the gap onto Faker, onto Gumayushi. If Gala can get there, though, I mean, he's on 4 plus a BF. Like, he is going to kill Zoe instantly. This is not a Zhonya Zoe. This is going for a death cap. There's no defensive stats, so it's all about your positioning. If you get caught as Faker, you're instantaneously dead. Like, 1 auto and a Q plus, like, anything, and you're just dead from Gala.
Look at the bot lane siege right now, though. Gold difference finally up 400. RNG get their first tick of blue on the gold graph, and they're going to keep going for a bit more, up to about 1K and change. 800 for a side lane turret. They got top tier 2 a while ago on the cross map, and now bot lane down as well. But a poke towards Owner. Wants the engage, can't find it. Red's going to reset, but they can still claim that one for 100 gold as well onto Gala as he keeps moving forward. LDR and the push towards GA or Bloodthirster. Not sure which way he's going to go. I think both make sense.
Yeah, I think given the playstyle, he's probably going to go GA. I think it's going to be more about the dive to the back line, that 100-0 style fight. I do think Bloodthirster is absolutely arguable. You're playing against Zoe as well as
even Ezreal poke matters, right?
Both that poke is very, very high, but Gala is just positioned so well. He hasn't really been getting poked anyway. You can see Ming is almost always playing on top of him, trying to be that kind of blocker.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably just going to go GA, and at a certain point, if you can dive on the backline and trade your life for Gumayushi or Faker, that's a game-winning play.
Yeah, it is. Oh, nice try. That is so much damage, and knocks out for a second, but still Gala's there to get the kill and a stun. On to 2, no 3. He brings it over to his mid laner, and it's going to spell the doom of T1. A triple kill in for Gala. Ming spoon fed him all of that gold. And Zeus is next. He's going to drop a quadra kill for Gala. He's got an unofficial penta, an official penta, a quadra kill, a slaughter of T1, 12-0-6. And RNG gonna turn Busan into a library. T1 will fall to 2-2. RNG on top today.
What a game from the carries of RNG. Xiaohu and Gala reigning supreme in this one. RNG stoic as always after the win, but what an incredible performance from them. This was a wild one. A lot to review here, I think, for both teams. A lot of risky plays, some paying off for teams, some really not. But if you saw the first couple of minutes of this game, how far Bin got put down, you would not believe that the way that the game went. And I was shocked how aggressively these teams were willing to just flip objectives. Both teams willing to flip the Baron in the face of the opposing jungler, just depending entirely on the fact that they could keep them out of the pit or win that 50-50 smite. Multiple objectives going the way of Gumayushi. This was absolutely a wild one, but T1 shocked, losing to both G2 and RNG in the first round robin after an undefeated year in the LCK, not dropping a series, not losing in playoffs, cruising through, coming in as favorites. It's a bit of a rude awakening for them, and they're just really not playing, I think,